Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining our webinar, Everything You Need to Know About Jotform Mobile Forms. My name is Annabelle and I'll be presenting today. We'll also have David from our support team behind the scenes to answer any questions via chat. If you didn't know already, Jotform Mobile Forms is our reimagined app designed to break free of the limitations of where and when you collect data. With this app, you can improve your data collection, keep better track of submissions, reduce paper usage, and more. So in today's webinar, we're going to go over the ins and outs of the product in a short presentation, show you a demo, and then answer your questions at the end. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. So I wanted to start with a few questions before we dive into the features and benefits of the product. So when we were developing Jotform Mobile Forms, we did a lot of user research and we wanted to know what our users were struggling with. So I wanted to ask the question, how many of you are struggling with getting leads when you're at a conference or trade show, getting more complete data to make better business decisions, getting data in real time when there's not a good Wi-Fi connection? So if you could please just type your answers into the chat panel, we can see what other people are thinking. Okay, so we're getting some yeses. Yes. Exactly. Okay, yeah, so people are agreeing with this. So that brings me into my next slide, which is going to talk about Jotform Mobile Forms benefits. So the benefits of Jotform Mobile Forms are really provide solutions to people's struggles with collecting data on the go, for getting information while they're offline, for building and editing forms, at a place that's not at their desktop. So some of the benefits that our users will enjoy is improvement in their data collection, keeping better track of submissions, reducing paper usage, better collaborating with teammates, and being able to collect data on the go. Okay, perfect. So we also have a variety of new features that are um, they're perfect for, again, collecting data on the go or when you're in areas of spotty Wi-Fi. So we have the first one I'd like to talk about is the advanced form fields. So advanced form fields allows teams to get more complete data by giving them the ability to collect unique types of data, such as like taking a photo or drawing an image or geolocation or recording a voice or even getting a signature. So by having access to these advanced form fields, your data will be a lot more complete. And we also have hundreds of these too. So once you get into the mobile form builder and you check it out, you'll be able to choose ones that work really well with your organization. So the next feature that we absolutely love, and we know you'll love too, is kiosk mode. So kiosk mode allows users to collect multiple form responses on a single device during trade shows, conferences, and events. So the cool thing about kiosk mode is it essentially turns your device into a survey station. So each time somebody fills out your form, you have a few seconds and then it automatically refreshes for the next person. So our third feature is offline data collection. So we've talked about this one a couple times already, but this basically enables users to collect form responses anywhere, anytime. And then once once you're back online, your form responses will automatically sync. So this basically means so someone who fills out your form will get like their email response from you once you're back online. And same, if an integration is used, that integration will be triggered once you're back online. Okay, so then we have assigned forms. So assigned forms is perfect for when you need to give someone in or outside of your company access to a form, but they don't need access to an entire account or to the admin side of things. So with assigned forms, assignees can send, view, or manage responses, and they're able to basically have access to the form. So again, this is good for conferences or for events to get real-time feedback and that sort of thing, and they don't have to worry about anybody tampering with any of your form fields or submissions or anything like that. Okay, and then we have customizable notifications. So this basically just means that you can choose which forms you want to stay up to date with by enabling or disabling their notifications. We also have easy form sharing. So with this, you're able to share forms via email, text, or even through third-party apps such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Slack, or whatever your team is using. And then lastly, we have our mobile form builder. So this is identical to Jotform Desktop's form builder. So you can create and edit forms no matter where you are, and it's just as easy to build forms on the go as it is to your desktop. Okay, so that was just like a quick overview of our features. And now I want to go into a demo to show you how they actually work. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to jump into a demo of Jotform Mobile Forms, and we're going to use a use case of a lead generation form. And this is great for collecting leads at conferences or trade shows, and it works really well in the app because you can turn your form into a survey station, you can collect the data offline, etc. So let's get started. I'm going to click on the Jotform Mobile Forms app here, and we are going to be directed to the My Forms interface. So this is very similar to the Jotform desktop version of My Forms, and you can see all of your forms listed out here. You can see the number of submissions, you can edit your forms, and you can even also build a form. And by doing that, you would just click on that plus sign in the upper left-hand corner. So I want to show you how to add an advanced form field to your lead gen form. So I've already created one for us. So I'm going to click on that here. And before we move on to editing the form, I just wanted to point out that this menu here that just populated is basically shows most of the actions that you can take with your form. So again, this is how I would edit my form or assign it to somebody else or open it in kiosk mode, etc. So I'm going to click edit form, and then we have Poto, our mascot, riding a bike as we wait. Cool. So here's our form. This is a pretty basic one that I've created just to show you the gist of it. Again, the form builder is identical to what you'd see in the Jotform desktop version. We have the build panel here that populates when you click on that plus sign in the lower left hand corner. We have the form designer on the right hand side, so you can customize your forms with colors, branding, fonts, etc. So I'm going to click again on that plus sign here, and to get to the advanced form field section, you would just come over to the widgets tab. And here we are. So in this section, we have our advanced form fields listed by their popularity. And so if you scroll down, you can get a really good sense for what we have. For this form, I'd say we could probably get away with just doing an e-signature so that our conference attendees / leads can sign the form once they fill out their information, ensuring that they are okay with all of the information that they're giving us. So I'm going to choose the smooth signature form field. So again, all I did was click it, or I guess tap it with my finger, and then it populates at the bottom of the form. So this is looking pretty good to me. We have the general information. We're wondering what they're interested in, and we have the signature at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this form. Just like in the desktop version, we have a quick share option where you can copy the link and send that to other people. We also have other share options where you can share on Twitter, Facebook, or even download a QR code. So we can go back now, and we can also choose embed, email, PDF, or using other third-party platforms. And one thing I wanted to point out too before we move on is that the mobile app also has the ability to integrate with third-party integrations such as our 30 plus payment processors, CRMs, the Google G Suite applications, Dropbox, MailChimp, and actually MailChimp would be a really good one to integrate with if you were collecting leads at a conference, because those leads can just automatically be funneled into that email marketing system, and then you can easily send a follow-up email. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to come back to the main My Forms section, and I'm going to show you how to assign a form to a teammate. So assigning a form, as we mentioned earlier, is great if you want to give somebody access to filling a form, opening a form in kiosk mode, and having access to submissions that are only received through that form. So you can assign a form to say 5 people, but each of these 5 people will only have access to their own submissions. So they do not have an admin or access to any of the admin functions. So this works really well, especially again for conferences, because maybe you have some temporary staff coming to help collect the leads and they just need a form to get the leads and they don't need editing access or anything like that. So I'm just going to click on assign form. And so I have already included one person. So I'm going to click add new in the upper right hand corner. Let's see. So we will add Jennifer Robin to as our assignee. We'll click next and then we'll say Jennifer Robin at, we'll just say test.com. Okay, perfect. And then message, you can do something here if you'd like. We'll just say hi. Cool. So we press save, and then your assignees will receive an email from Jotform that gives them instructions on how to access the form. It's super easy. All they have to do is just use their email and they will be given a password. And then once they come through the app and use the email and password, they'll be able to access the form. And please note that if you assign a form, it's only available through the app. So your assignee must use the form within the app. Otherwise, it won't work through the desktop. Okay, perfect. So I also wanted to show how to customize your notification. So if you were familiar with the old app, we didn't have that option, and that was something that users really wanted to see. So to get to the customize notification section, I'm going to click on the gear icon in the upper right hand corner, which is our settings. I'm going to come down to notifications, click on that. So basically, it's pretty simple. If you want to receive notifications for a form, you just need to make sure that the box is checked. And if you do not want to receive notifications, just make sure the box is unchecked. So our lead gen form here at the very top is already checked, so we're good. But if I wanted to turn it off, it just takes a quick tap, turn it back on, done. Super easy. And this is great for cutting through the noise. Like sometimes there's forms that you want to know what's going on every time you get a submission, and some it's like, okay, I can check this once a week. So it's totally up to you. Okay, so we'll go back. And then I also wanted to show how you can collect data offline, which is one of the mobile forms' biggest features, which again, also great for conferences too, if there's spotty Wi-Fi or the internet connection isn't very good. So for offline forms, again, you're just gonna click on it right there. And then similar to notifications, you're just going to want to click on the form that you want to be enabled offline. And then once this finishes loading and we see the green check, we'll be good to go. Perfect. So we're good now. And this form will work offline. So one thing to note is when you use the offline feature, make sure that you are online when you click this box. Otherwise it won't work. Like if you're already offline and want to make a form offline, it won't work. You need to be offline to make a form offline so that it can work offline. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to show you how this works. We're going to fill out the form together. So I'm going to come back to my settings. I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi off, and then I'm going to put my phone on airplane mode so we have no service. Okay, so we'll come back to the app. I'm going to click on my form again. I'm going to fill out my form, and let's use Poto as an example. So we'll do Poto. Cat email is poto@cat.com. Company is Jotform. Title is mascot. Poto wants to hear more information, and then Poto is going to sign and submit. So we get the thank you page, and it says your data saved and will be submitted once you come back online.
So we'll come back to our form. So we can see the submission here. We can even view it, but just note that it's not been synced yet until you get back online. So let's see, we have our submission here. So we have options to start it. We can share it. We can share it through text, email, save it as a note, Facebook Messenger, Facebook, Slack, etc. So you have a lot of options for sharing. And the layout is super clean too, so it's easy to see like who filled it out, what their email is, their company, their title, etc. Okay, perfect. So the last thing I want to show you in our demo is kiosk mode, which is essentially when you turn your device into a survey station. So each time a form is filled out, it automatically refreshes and then somebody else can fill it out. So I'm going to click on my form again. I will come down to open in kiosk mode, continue without screen lock, and I'm just gonna jump down to the bottom and then so we can just see how it works. So let's pretend I filled out the form to completion. I press submit, and then I have the option to return to the form or to close kiosk mode. And if I don't do anything, then it will just take me back to the form. So again, I'm just gonna submit it, and then if I want to close it, I can close kiosk mode, and then I'm back to my forms.
Okay, so that was our demo. And now that we've seen how Jotform Mobile Forms works, I want to ask everyone, how will you use Jotform Mobile Forms in your workflow? So if you could just please type in your responses to the chat panel again, and we can read them out loud. Okay, so it looks like some people are saying sign in for a class in kiosk mode, perfect. As an internal audit form, seminars with kiosk mode. We will use it for submitting all of our forms for peer support. Um, let's see, we will use it for service forms, pre-site inspections. After a training class, we'll have students sign it and we'll create a certification of attendance. Oh, trade show booth sign-up forms, restaurant and retail feedback forms. Great. Yeah, so these are all awesome use cases. So Jotform Mobile Forms really is versatile for industries of all types. Awesome. So one last thing that I wanted to touch on before we jump into the Q&A is that Jotform Mobile Forms has a really great offer until 2020, and that's no limits on the mobile forms. So essentially what that means is when you use the app, you will not have limits on forms that you can edit and build. Form fields, form submissions, form views, and form storage space. So please note though that not having any of these limits is only available through the app and that your regular plan will be applied through your desktop version of Jotform. So we have a really great FAQ on the Jotform mobile forms page. So it'd be good just to check that out just to make sure that you understand kind of like how the submissions would work if you were to receive one through the mobile app versus the desktop, because they will count in different ways depending on how they're received. Okay, awesome. So questions and answers time. Okay, perfect. So it looks like we have a question here from John, and he is asking, what are major features we can do with Jotform that we cannot do in Google Forms? We're trying to figure out the justification of moving away from Google Forms. Let's see. Um, I'd say the shortest answer that we can give is the features. We have integrations with many third-party platforms like Google, like G Suite, and also just form customization in terms of like the styling. It's also very limited with Google Forms. We also have payment processors. We have HIPAA compliance and conditional logic, and there's a lot more perks that come with the Jotform mobile forms and just in the Jotform general account as well. You get a lot more bang for even a free plan. Um, and in Jotform too, nearly everything can be customized. So, I mean, the list really goes on too, but I'd say those are like the main things. Um, Awesome. So we have a question from Darren. So to confirm, all my existing desktop forms can work on offline mobile, or do they need to be rebuilt slash published for offline use? So yes, Darren, all of your desktop forms will continue to work in offline mode. All you would need to do as we showed in the demo, is just go to the gear icon in the mobile app and then just make those forms offline. So after you do that, they will be ready to use offline. Okay, so we have another question here from Henok. Can we use single sign-on and get identity information from Azure AD instead of having users create accounts on Jotform? So we do offer SSO for account authentication for enterprise, but we currently don't offer the ability to SSO into the actual form and have data pulled into the form for login. Okay, let's see what else we have here. One moment, just going through the questions. Okay, so we have a question from Craig. Is the cost included with current plans? So the app is actually totally free. And we also have the no limits until 2020. Okay, we have a question from Peter. Can the mobile forms be created on desktop? Yes, so you can create a form through your desktop and then access it through the mobile app. Okay, perfect. Someone says, I have a question for the support team. How can I contact them? So you can reach out to our support team through our form, which is jotform.com/contact, or you can email them at support@jotform.com. Um, let's see here. We have a question here from Lynn. Can I still sync my forms with integrations like Google Sheets, Airtable, and Square through the app? Yes. So all of the integrations available in Jotform Desktop are available through the app too. Perfect. Okay, and then we have a question from Jim. Is Jotform Mobile Forms HIPAA compliant? So Jotform Mobile Forms is HIPAA compliant, um, and you can learn more about our HIPAA compliant plans and how it works through jotform.com/HIPAA. Alrighty, let's see other questions. Um, so we have a question here. What happens to my forms without an internet connection? So nothing happens to your forms without internet connection. Basically, if you enable them to be offline, like we showed in the demo, then you will be able to collect data offline if you have no internet connection. And then once you get back online again, all of that data will sync back up and it'll be good to go after that. Okay. So I have a question here from Ben. Are there any storage limits on how much data I can store in the app offline? So the amount of data that you can store in the app is based on the amount of storage space that you have on your mobile device. So our mobile app checks your storage. So when your mobile device storage sends an alert, Jotform clears the biggest data and unchecks it from your offline forms list. You can still read your data from the desktop with your Jotform account, so you don't have to worry about losing any type of data. Um, okay, cool. Let's see. Are there any other questions? Okay, perfect. So we just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for joining our webinar today. And we encourage you to download the app on either the App Store or Google Play, totally free of charge. We will be sending a webinar thank you follow-up email this Friday that will have a recording of this webinar and also some links to other resources. And again, if you have any questions regarding the Jotform Mobile Forms app or about your account or about Jotform in general, please feel free to reach out to our support team through that jotform.com/contact form or through the email at support@jotform.com. Okay, everyone, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.